Welcome back, everyone. This is Chaos Creations. It's about 11:30 here on a Sunday evening. Very warm again tonight. We're coming into summer, which is great. Now I've got two things to talk about. First of all, the old world, Tomb Kings, blah, 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 3D printing, and also Legion Imperialis. So let's start with the Tomb Kings and 3D printing, and we'll get into the other stuff shortly. So I have been busy. As most of you know, I'm a 3D printer for many, many years, over a decade. I owned a 3D printing shop, and I decided to start 3D printing bases so I can do all of my miniatures literally from the ground up with highly detailed bases. So I've got some of these ones here. These are like 3D printed with some nice scenery and so forth. I think I did that in the last video, and you saw some of these, which were some of the detailed bases I've been working on and so forth. And I did a couple of tests. So these are exactly the same paint jobs, except the undercoat is black and this one's white. And both turned out quite well. Depending on the paint job of the model, depends on what I put it on. If it's very bony-like, there's no point in putting on that because the feet and so forth will just blend into the background. So that one will be quite handy. It'll just depend on the miniature that I do and the paint job and so forth. I do like this one more though. It does have a very sort of sandy sort of feel. I have been printing up some other types. Now, these are just very basic. There's nothing particularly snazzy about them, other than the fact that if it gets in focus, you can see the fact that it is perfectly square on all the edges. So when you put miniatures up against miniatures, they're not going to be clanging into each other and knocking each other over. And I've also done some like this, which hopefully will get into focus, or not. There we go. I mean, got little skulls on them and so forth, and bones. And they're quite nice little layer height and so forth. So, you know, it'll be up and down a little bit so I can put miniatures on them and so forth. I've also been 3D printing out some movement trays. Well, these take about, for both of those, a big one, and that will hold 50 miniatures, and that will hold, I think it's 10 or 20? 10. And, you know, that takes for both of those about 40 minutes to print out. And they're, you know, reasonably solid. There's a little bit of flex to them, but for the most part, they're perfectly fine. You can tell here that I've been painting up the pyramids, and they've turned out quite nicely. You know, it's a very basic paint job. Once again, this one was done in white, and the other one was done in black, and I've done a little gem on top, like an amethyst thing. So it's turned out quite nicely. I need to put some little tufts of like brown desert on them, and this one was undercoated in black. Once again, you can see the details. It's just been given like a dark wash over it. But once again, it's exactly the same paints except for the undercoat. And you get some nice effects. So there's bag one of all the bases. And now I've got like 5 bags of just bases. Mostly 25 by 25, some 40s, a couple of chariot bases, and so forth. You know, I want to have a nice sort of overture of what the bases can be. And there's that skull one from the last one. Hopefully it'll get in focus. So it's turned out quite nicely. You know, and I can put heroes on those things, you know. Nice and easy, 25 by 25 base. Not a problem. So, yeah. Over the next week, I'm just going to print bases, and bases. We don't know anything other than the fact that standard rank and file will be on 25 by 25. Apart from that, we know nothing. There is nothing else to you know, really be informed. So while I'd love to put my shanty on some 40 by 40 bases, until I'm officially told otherwise, I really can't. So where does that leave me? Up ship creep without a paddle, really. Now, Legions Imperialis. So I think this Sunday, which is today, is their last chance to really bring it out and have any hope of it doing anything. I get the horrible feeling, and I hope I'm wrong, I really am, but I hope the fact that the Horus Heresy, the 28mm version, was almost like a launching pad for Legions Imperialis. Because I don't see them really doing much for Horus Heresy now. There's not a lot coming out. Book one with Fulgrim, I've been told, is absolutely atrocious. It is just terrible. And, you've got to start off by buying a $400 miniature, which is Fulgrim here in Australia. That's $405 or something, I think he is. That's not cheap, $400 for one miniature. Don't get me wrong, Fulgrim's a beautiful model, but still, that's really expensive. I don't think Horus Heresy is going to get a lot of love ever again. And that's horrible to say because, as a person that's playing these games, you want them to have lots of input. 40K, Age of Sigmar, and maybe Old World will get lots of love, lots and lots of love. And other games like Necromunda, Kill Team, and so forth, Adeptus Titanicus, and so forth, will get love for about 2, maybe 3 years, and then it's cut off. And you're lucky if you get 2 or 3 years, realistically. And I think that's the problem with Horus Heresy. You'll get dribs and drabs, a book 1, a book 2, a book 3, a book 4, and a book 5, and then that'll be it. It'll be nothing. And the book will almost be like, half-assed done. I mean, I've not got book 1, but I've been told by a lot of friends, it's terrible. It is, somebody said it reads like stereo instructions, Everything is there, but it is said in such an unusual and odd manner, it makes no sense. Anyway, Legions Imperialis is my concern for the moment. I went around to a couple of other gaming groups yesterday and a little bit today, and no one's interested. No one's even remotely interested. I was hoping to talk to, I spoke to a lot of people about Star Wars and 40K and the Old World and so forth. Everyone's keen for the Old World. I mentioned Legions Imperialis, and they went, no, that boat sailed, or I was interested, but I've moved on. I'm going to save my money for Christmas. And that was the big one. Everyone was saying, I'm saving my money for Christmas. I want to get Christmas box sets. I don't want to get Legion Imperialis box sets. That's gone. I want the Christmas box sets. I want to save myself some money and get this 40K army and that 40K army and this Age of Sigmar and that Age of Sigmar. And who can blame them? So, if it does launch tonight, I will be excited, but I'm not going to be excited as I was 2 or 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, because as much as I have the passion to play Epic, it's just been slogged out. It really has. It's like, the old saying, flogging a dead horse. They have flogged the horse to death, resurrected it from the grave, and killed it again. So I can only hope if it does come out, there is some, amazing specials or something, and the price isn't so bad that it's going to make my wallet cry. I'm not doing too bad for a bob, but at the same token, I have to save money, and I've got kids; they want presents, and I like to get presents for my friends and so forth. So it's going to have to either be at a really good price for me to buy it, or the offer that they're giving is something spellbinding. If it's just the box set and it's $500 or $480 or something, no, I'm sorry, I'll have to wait. I really will. And if there's a lot of interest, then buy it. And it hurts me to say that, but I don't get a lot of games, so I want to get a game that people are going to be playing a lot. Old World is something I know that I can just pick up, take to a game, take to a shop, and there's more going to be someone that's playing it. Legions Imperialis, it just seems to get bleaker and bleaker and bleaker every week. Anyway, I'm going to babble, and that's not what I want in this video. And I don't want to sound negative either. I love Epic Scale, I really do. I just want people to play against. I want opponents. So if it's under $400 in Australian money, and it's a huge big box set, then I'm in the full Monty, let's go. Regardless of whether there's people there or not, $400 I can just afford, and I'll be able to, paint it up and hopefully find people to play against. Anything more than 400, maybe 405, maybe 410, but 410 would be it. That would be my absolute, bottom of the barrel. That's as high as I can go. Anything more than that, and I'm going to hurt myself badly. Even at $400, it's still, not nice, but it's doable just. If not, then unfortunately, I'm just going to have to wait. And I'll have to wait until early, maybe 2024. Maybe some people have not, enjoyed it or whatever, and they're selling it, and I might be able to get it cheap. I will just see how I do. But for the most part, I'm excited and nervous for tonight, tomorrow, and see what happens. If it doesn't come out, then it's not coming out. It can't come out until next year. They're not stupid, because this is just getting too close to Christmas. They'd just be losing money, being throwing money down a pit. I personally would say now, don't bring it out now. Bring it out in 2024, maybe June, July, and do it all again. Have that big explosion. Hello, here it is, epic new 2.0. Away we go. But we will see. The new web page is annoying. I'm finding it very frustrating. I don't know about anyone else, but I get ticked off the fact that every time I click on there, I've got to say English and my region, Australia. The old web page knew. I would just go in there, bang, it knew everything. Not a problem. I hope they fix these bugs out, because, it's going to shoot them in the foot, especially around Christmas. I didn't know why they didn't do this till after Christmas, after the Christmas rush, but powers that be. Anyway, everyone have a great day. This is Chaos signing off. It's about 11:45, midnight, and I need to get some sleep. Bye.